Have you ever wondered how animation works? Hi! In this video, we will discuss the fundamentals and timing of animation. We will learn animation techniques by applying the fundamentals, timing, and examples of animation. Let's begin by discussing the 6 fundamentals of animation. Speed is the first fundamental that we need to learn in animation because we can control how an object moves, whether it's moving fast or slow. These are 2 things that you should know about one speed. First, one speed is a technique where an object moves using one speed, meaning it will move at a constant speed. Second, every distance of every object in each frame needs to have the same distance. For example, in this animation, I've created a ball moving in a straight line from right to left using the same speed. If you pay attention to each frame I've created, the distance from each frame has the same length. The closer the distance of each object in every frame, the slower it goes. And the further the distance of each object in each frame, the faster it goes. After learning the first fundamental, we can now move on to the next one, through acceleration and deceleration. We can play the movement of an object in animation. This technique helps enhance the movement and fluidity, giving a smoother look to your animation. So keep in mind that acceleration and deceleration help you learn timing. Acceleration means speeding up, while deceleration means slowing down. How do we use acceleration and deceleration in animation? We can use it through distance in each framing. The closer the distance is, the slower the object moves, while the further the distance is, the faster the object moves. It's similar to the previous one-speed technique, but in this technique, we will use various distance in each frame.
Consider that a car cannot abruptly go from 0 to 60 instantly. It's highly unnatural. Cars are heavy, and they take time to speed up, and so do all objects, or characters in motion. When an object takes time to speed up, we call this an ease out, and when it slows down to stop, we call this an ease in. Movement that is eased correctly is more natural looking.
Using squash and stretch will make your animation livelier. How? Simply squash and stretch to change the shape of your object. We can apply this technique by animating the eye movement. While the character's eye move from left to right, down to up, we need to make it more livelier and more natural. According to the animation, the shape of the pupil stretched while it moved rapidly from left to right, and the shape of the pupil got squashed while it moved up. Other than squashing and stretching the object, you can also make the shape object smaller and bigger. In this example, I changed the shape of the pupil smaller, giving an expression of shock. The fourth fundamental is anticipation. This creates an energy towards an object in animation. You can think of it as a spring. In other words, anticipation helps object give a burst of energy. Just like a spring, before it launches, the first movement is it squash the object first, giving an anticipation before bursting into energy. To give a sense of anticipation in animation, we can use the previous technique, which is squash and stretch. From this animation, we can see that the character's expressions are shocked and shy. To make an anticipation, we can change the angle of the head by tilting his head up. This indicates the character is trying to anticipate shock by showing the expression of curious. Other than using deceleration, acceleration, squash and stretch, and anticipation techniques, we can use the overshoot technique to make the animation more natural and livelier. How to overshoot work is we will move backward on the last frame, then move forward again to the last frame to make it jumpier. We can apply this fundamental in the previous animation. To make it livelier, after the character tilts his head up from feeling embarrassment and shyness, he tilts his head down, showing an expression of relief. Simply, overshoot is a spring back effect. The last fundamental technique of animation we will be discussing is arcs. If you want your animation to look more smooth, rather than moving in a straight line, we can move the object in a flow. The more movement the object made, the more curvier the movement. In this example, to make the movement more smoother, I apply the arcs technique by moving each frame into a curved line. When the character tilts his head, he moves according to the curved line. This is called arcs. Now that we have learned about the 6 fundamental techniques and timing, we will learn about texturing and why style consistency matters. See you in the next video.